medyo nakaka-pressure, and I've seen like comments who are quite disappointed na nalaman nila it's me who's doing it. So, of course, it's understandable, but also I took it as a challenge.
Welcome everyone to another Summit Sessions where we put the spotlight on some of the most influential figures in the country today. I'm Anton from Top Gear Philippines, and joining me today is Tristine from Yummy.
Hello everyone, I'm Tristine from Yummy, and it is my pleasure to be here, and I'm so excited because we will be joined by one of the most sought after actresses in the Philippine television. She first gained recognition for the teleserye Kay Tagal Kang Hinintay, and I can still remember this. It's the Yuri Cat days. She is best known for her portrayals in the films One More Chance, The Mistress, Eerie, and Four Sisters and a Wedding.
We're here for her latest work, of course, which is Startup Philippines, the local adaptation of the popular Korean drama. So, welcome, Miss Bea,
Thank
to
you.
Summit Sessions.
Thank you.
And
I'm so happy to be here.
and it's actually perfect timing because our previous guest was Alden.
Alden, yeah,
Yes.
so I heard.
The
And he
good
enjoyed
boy
it as
of
well.
the Philippines.
Yes.
So let's get right to it, shall we, Miss Bea? Okay, so this one comes from Cosmopolitan, and they're asking what it's like to film a local adaptation of a popular Korean drama. And do you feel any pressure about it?
Oh, definitely. Because I am a fan myself. I've watched the Startup Korea, yung Korean version. When I was locked up in my house nung pandemic, of course I quite liked it. And naisip ko, in the past, like for example, I would watch like yung mga Marvel movies or even yung mga Queen's Gambit, and I cannot imagine another person doing that character that I loved so much. And so when I accepted the role of Suzy, which is Dalmi sa Korean, tapos Dani na in Filipino in our version, medyo nakaka-pressure, and I've seen like comments who are quite disappointed na nalaman nila it's me who's doing it. So, of course, it's understandable, but also I took it as a challenge. And now that they're watching it, I could see some mga comments that they've had a change of hearts, na they actually like it, na we kind of put like a Filipino unique taste to it, which I think parang paid off. Kasi initially parang mas kinabahan ako dun sa initial reaction na akala nila parang hindi ako fit for the role. But then, as they watch it, mas nag-grow sa kanila yung Dani character. And it's not the first time that I am doing an adaptation from a foreign franchise. I've done I Love Betty La Fea in the past, yes. So just the same, again, it's not a spoof, it's not a parody. It's my own interpretation of the character.
Speaking of startup, can you share with us your favorite behind-the-scenes moments with Alden Richards?
You know, Alden is very playful. Hindi ko alam kung napansin nyo. Like, he sets the tone on set.
Yeah.
Like, siguro kasi it's his home for a long time already. Ako, bagong pasok pa lang ako sa GMA, so I'm still adjusting. But Alden is very playful. So, siya yung nagsiset talaga ng tone for the entire day. Like, he makes me feel, welcomed by doing that. Na mas kasi medyo medyo serious tayo pagdating sa trabaho. Maybe because I've done a lot of like melodramas before, yung mga soap operas na heavy drama. So, yung yung approach ko sa work, laging seryoso. And parang I learned from Alden, na hindi naman niya sinasabi literally, but as I observe him, parang napapansin ko na, you know what, it's okay to be playful. It's okay to make fun of yourself sometimes.
You've mentioned Betty La Fea earlier, and you were phenomenal in
you.
Betty La Fea. Now, we want to know are there other foreign films or series
That I want to adapt?
you want to adapt, and the roles that you would like to portray?
If I were to adapt another famous franchise, siguro that would, kanina nasabi ko Queen's Gambit, that would have to be it. Or like Gone Girl.
Oh,
You know?
that's deep. That's heavy. That's
Right?
pretty heavy,
Something
yeah.
heavy. Yeah.
I think I've seen a photo shoot done by you na parang Queen's Gambit yung theme.
Yeah. I think so. It was by Mark Nick daw. No, but ano siya parang Wes Anderson film.
Oh,
Yung pagkaganon siya.
Wes Anderson films, I noticed they're pretty poppy and colorful.
Yes,
and the
he
way
did
he
a shoot
frames
like
it,
that.
yeah.
It was for my, parang siyang parang birthday shoot lang. So
Yeah.
it was just a fun shoot done by Mark Nagdawan, Christine Duque, and John Val, was it John Valley? Anyway, my team. So we did a fun shoot na Wes Anderson inspired.
I love it because you're a bit of a film buff, aren't you?
I am.
It's like, Wes Anderson's like one of
Right.
one of the top right there.
I guess if you're in the business, you have to like know about these people, right?
Well, I guess it goes for the same for us. We look at for Yummy, you guys look at chefs, and we look at
Definitely. And it's actually, it's always been my interest. Kahit na yung mga Filipino films in the past, like Moral or iba-iba, like, tama ka, I'm a film buff, but I know that I have a lot to learn also. Na alam ko there are movies that I haven't seen before that I have to see,
That's the great thing about you're always looking for that next
Definitely.
challenge.
It's a journey.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a learning process all the time.
Also from Cosmopolitan, that they kind of understand that you're the breadwinner of the family. So, how has that role in your family taught you about business and how to, manage everything, not just your work, but also your people and everything else, and your investments and etc.
Of course, because I know how hard it is to actually gain money or to actually have a better salary. You have to really work hard for it. So I'm a bit of I think hindi ako masyadong I splurge, but I never live beyond my means. I'm very savvy. I'm very, like, I know na this is not forever, so I have to create other businesses for me to like gain money aside from aside from show business. And so we've created different ways on how to like generate money outside of show business. So there is our farm, we're into agriculture, we have also rental buildings and residential and commercial. These are passive incomes, but then eventually, of course, that's going to help me if I want to like, slow down on show business.
We have another question from Cosmopolitan. Because we see Bea Alonzo vlogging, acting, cooking, managing a farm, you have your restaurant, you have your love life. So we want to know, how do you strike a balance? How do you give time for yourself?
That's a very good question because lately pero nahihirapan ako to juggle everything. Of course, hindi man ako superwoman. As in like, it's really hard work also. Like, there are times that I just want to disappear because, masyadong marami akong ginagawa. And, ang dami kong facets. I'm, of course, an entrepreneur. I am an actress. I am a daughter. I am a girlfriend. So, ang dami-daming facets. But also, sometimes I just want to be by myself. And I'm actually celebrating my birthday on the 17th of October. And tinatanong ako ng boyfriend ko, and sabi niya, what do you want to do? Ganyan. Kasi I don't like to be surprised as much as I want surprising other people. It's not my nature to, to ask for surprises or it's not something that I like. And so he always asks me, kasi last year, surprised niya ako, but it didn't go so well because, parang I wanted to just relax. So this time, tinatanong niya na ako, and naisip ko lang na parang, is it wrong if I ask for like a half day na ako lang mag-isa and then I just meet you up during dinner? Like, yun lang yung parang, sometimes you just want to like, to just be in your room by yourself and just shut everything off. Parang, I guess I'm a bit of an introvert na parang, if I spend too much time around people, medyo nadadrain ako. And I just want to like, be able to like, rejuvenate and reset my mind and my body, being just by myself.
It's, when people like see actors, actresses, they're on screen, they immediately assume that you're an extrovert because you appear on TV.
Because you perform.
Yeah.
I can be that as well, but I have to say, like, there are moments that I just want to be alone. And I don't think that's a bad thing. It's also good for your mental health.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just to be able to read a good book or watch your favorite series or watch a movie. Parang feeling ko okay lang yun.
Yeah, sometimes it's nice to just shut your brain off.
Totoo
Yeah.
yan, totoo yan. No, even when I'm taping, for example, if I'm doing like heavy scenes, pag break time, gusto ko lang manood ng RuPaul's Drag Race or Drag Race Philippines. Para lang
Maraming
maano,
makaka-relate dyan.
para lang yung energy ko hindi masyadong ano ba yun, kasi sometimes you tend to like absorb negative energy through like doing scenes. Like sometimes, syempre tao ka lang naman, di ba? Hindi ka, not, parang in a snap, hindi mo naman madodrop yung emotions na heavy di ba? So sometimes when it gets too much, like I put on something fun like Friends or Drag Race, and then para kang nahuhugasan, para kang alam mo parang na-reset. Yeah.
What about sa book? Because you said you watch Friends and
Yes,
Drag
yes.
Race. What
Yes.
about your current read?
What was the last thing it was Power of Integrity. I forget kung sino sumulat. Basta that was the book that I was reading when I was at the beach with Dom.
Well, another recommended book read from Summit Sessions. And last year it from Cosmo. And they're asking this mainly because you came from several iconic roles dealing with heartbreak. What would be your advice to those trying to bounce back from one, and if there's any dating advice for that?
Parang expert na kalaban. Sa TV lang, but actually real life, hindi. Just take it one day at a time. You know, moving on is a process. It's not an overnight thing. Anybody who would tell you na kakagaling lang ng breakup and then they've moved on, that means they're probably not dealing with it in the right way, or maybe they're lying, because it's really a process. You have to celebrate little victories, like for example, oh, I forgot his name today, or I forgot to think about him today, or you know what, walang urge today to text him, or like, you know, reach out to him, or you know, hindi ako umiyak today. Those are small victories, and you have to be kind to yourself and celebrate those kinds of victories, kasi somehow at some point you will get there and you have to focus on yourself. So siguro yun din yung magiging advice ko sa pagdating sa relationships. You have to also focus on yourself to be able to love somebody else.
And when they say you can't pour from an empty cup.
Exactly.
So, Escar would like to know how has working with the startup crew been, and you know, with your co-stars. And all
Yeah.
that?
Of course, meron akong adjustment period, 'di ba? Like initially, syempre kinakabahan ako. I didn't know how to like gel with everyone and you know, blend in right away, because I have to say magkaiba talaga sila ng culture, and I say this in a good way na parang of course I respect ABS's process, also GMA's process, but at some point you have to blend in, and I'm used to like working a certain way back when I was in ABS, and I've worked there for 20 years, right? So seeing Direk Jerry, who is also working on startup, and I used to work with him in ABS, medyo nakatulong yun that you have a familiar face na nakikita. So parang siya naging comfort blanket, as well as merong ibang staff na nanggaling din sa ABS, which gives me a certain level of comfort, kasi parang nakikita ko sila parang, oh, of course they know me. So, and like working with these new crew and staff, syempre, kailangan ko magpakilala sa kanila. This is the way I work. And syempre, not trying to like change anything on the set, because I'm the one na lumipat. So syempre, dapat ako yung mas makikisama. I have to be able to adapt to the way they work at GMA, and right now I have to say I was able to do that na somehow para mas magiging comfortable na ako working with them, and they know my style, I know theirs, and we respect each other on set.
So it's a bit like it's a fresh start, and at the same time there's a level of comfort because kahit papano may mga familiar faces.
Yes, and you know what, I was able to like gain friends already in GMA, and the thing that I can say is that each and every one of us has a level of respect for each other, the way we work, which is very good.
My question is, how do you think your professional rebirth is going so far? And this is not just about moving from one network to another, but your professional rebirth in in general?
You know, parang I always say this, parang this is like my second win. Kasi the first one, I was maybe in my early 20s when I did One More Chance. And I have to say that became like a cult favorite eventually. And I didn't expect that to happen. Kasi initially, okay, parang for me, yung peak hindi lang siya nagtatapos sa isa. Like, I was at my peak when I was a teenager. And then, when One More Chance happened in 2007, that was another peak in my 20s. And now I'm in my 30s. I'm 34, turning 35 this month. I feel like I'm on my third peak. And right now, parang yung rebirth profession yung sinasabi mo, right now I can enjoy it more. Unlike when I was in my teenage years, I was busy like proving to everyone that I have what it takes to be a star. And when I was in my 20s, I was busy thinking, do you think they like me, or maybe am I good enough? Am I thin enough? Am I beautiful enough? I was busy of thinking about what other people would perceive me to be. And I was creating this persona, parang other persona, because I was so scared for people to see the real me. Baka hindi nila magustuhan. So I was hiding behind my characters almost. Like when I was doing Basha, when I was doing Bobby, or kay Tagal Kang Hinintar, I was hiding behind these characters that are well loved because I was so scared na baka pag nakilala nila si Bea, hindi nila magustuhan. And so in my 30s, I started vlogging. And this time, mas ako, naging brave to show them who I really am. Because sa vlogging, they only know Bea. They don't know any characters of yours. So, I was able to reconnect sa fans ko on a personal level. And now they love me for my flaws. They love me for who I am. And so professionally, parang I have less insecurities. I have less to prove. And I only try to live in the present and not worry about the future or the past. So I can enjoy it more now. If I make sense, I don't know.
Yeah.
Some of us understand that you're in your 20s, you want to project.
Yes, yes.
It
It's almost
usually
like you
happens
want to
when-
be somebody else.
Yes.
Yes.
Like lalo na when you're in your 20s, because you're trying to plot for your 30s and stuff like
And not
that.
only
and,
that,
you know,
in our business, there's always a constant comparison with your peers, especially for women. Oh, you're not as sexy as Angel. You're not as charming as Anne. You're not as straightforward as Angelica. Laging may ganun. Laging may constant comparison. Na as a woman in your 20s, it gets to you, ah. You can really absorb it. And yun nga, parang right now, baka parang nandito na tayo sa societies. The society's slowly realizing that we don't need that. Empowered women empower each other.
Yes.
And so we don't need that kind of comparison. We have our own strengths, our own beauties. So,
Now, I want to ask, how do you describe your acting styles? And how did your acting style change for the past 10 or 20 years even?
acting style, do I have one? Hindi ko alam if I have one. I have to give credit to my directors and to my writers. I mean, Ate Vanessa Valdez from Star Cinema, Ate Carmi Mundo, like they're the best in creating these characters. And I'm just a tool. I mean, there was Inang, Direk Kathy, who really honed my talent, Direk Lauren Jogi. And now I'm working with Direk Jerry and Direk Dom Zapata. And to be honest, I'm very collaborative. So when it comes to like acting, I really make sure that I'm working well with the director. But in terms of preparation, I create my character background. So meaning these are the things that you don't find in the script. Like for example, what's my zodiac sign? Where did I go to school? Where did I go to school? Who were my friends? Meron bang falling out? Anong nangyari? These are the things that you don't get to read in a script, but you have to do as an actor para kahit na anong like situations, kung parang automatic sa'yo, you really, parang intensively, kilala mo yung character, you were able to create the character. So kahit na anong ipasabi nila sa'yo, kahit na anong situation, you know how you would react because you should know your character well more than anybody.
More pahabos from Esquire.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned phases from your teen years to your 20s to your late 20s and now your 30s, no? And so, what would you say would be your favorite roles for those phases, let's say?
Okay. The first one has to be Katrina Argos from Kay Tagal Kang Hinintay. Just because, you know, she's very special to me. I was only 13, 14 years old, and then I had to play a part who was a 21-year-old law student. So half the time I didn't know what I was talking about. Seriously, so I learned so much from the character. Buti lang may background ako na nag-beauty contest ako. So I was able to like fake it na mukha akong adult. But actually, I was just a child. So, yeah, yun talaga. Tapos siguro sa 20s ko, it has to be Basha, of course. Basha. And now in my 30s, ano ba yung pinaka-recent when I turned 30? It has to be Eerie, my character from Eerie.
You know, you get offered roles and etc. Anything you regret passing on or any role that you wish you got?
Oh, I remember. I was supposed to play the part of Rosario. Do you remember that movie? Yung movie about the lola of MVP, Mr. Manny Pangilinan. I remember it was offered to me, so I was so excited to do it because that was going to be my first period film. But then,
is this the one set in the 40s and the honor?
Yes. That was supposed to be me, Angelica, and Jericho. And then, you know, maraming nangyari. Like, that was out of our control, so I wasn't able to do it. But I remember it was an MMFF film that on the 25th, I was at the theater watching it, thinking I was the one doing the character.
So, would you say you're a fan of period dramas or period movies?
Yeah, maybe. And plus, it's a dream of mine too. Until now, I haven't done anything like it. No, I actually did one in Palawan, but hindi pa siya na-release next year pa. But it's hindi siya kasi like 1940s, 1950s, 1521 siya nangyari. So masyadong like way back, you know.
Yeah. Speaking of 1521, we actually would like to know more about it. So, can you tell us how did it come to be and what can people expect from 1521?
I don't know how much I can say about it just
Okay.
yet, but yeah, it's about the Battle of Mactan. So I'm playing as the Babaylan, so meaning I'm the healer priestess of the tribe. So it's about how the Spaniards came to the Philippines and tried to colonize the Philippines that early. But of course, 40 years later pa siya na, diba, nasakop. But that was about the Battle of Mactan. But that, supposedly, yun lang yung backdrop because it's really a love story between me, my character, yung Babaylan, and Enrique, who is the Spanish interpreter.
You are working with Dani Trejo,
Yes,
right?
we work
for this.
together.
How is it like working with him?
Amazing. He's like the sweetest guy I've known.
Even
And
if
di ba
he's
parang,
like
di ba,
the
parang
tough
siya
guy
yung mukhang
Mexican.
kontrabida
Yeah.
lagi. He's the sweetest. So, yeah. So he would tell me stories about his past movies, and then he would tell me I should get an agent, you know, in the States. And ganun, nakakatuwa because he's really there to like just give back to the people in the industry.
And he's machete, so.
Exactly. And plus, every time he would have dinner at night, kasi pero ako kami ng hotel, like he would tell me stories about his past movies, yung mga behind the scenes kwentos. Like parang every time he would talk about like De Niro or like, parang it's as if he's just talking about Robert. Like Robert De Niro? Yes, just Robert. Sabi ko, oh my God! Yung gusto kong mahimatay na parang, idols mo to. Alam mo yun?
Parang casual day lang
like,
sa kanya.
Talaga nasa starstruck ako every time.
So, we noticed like your roles are really evolving. So
Yeah.
what other roles are you looking for
Oh.
now? Or beyond that, let's say in 5
Marami
years?
pang super exciting, like in the near future. I just had a meeting with Eric Matty, so we're doing a couple of projects
nice,
together
nice.
of different genres that can't tell you yet, but I wish I could because I'm so excited about it. So we're doing 4 projects, different genres. So 2 movies and 2 series for streaming. So it's going to be very, very, very exciting.
This is
I
something
think
to look forward
the
to.
first one will be announced very soon.
Wow.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
We are definitely looking forward to that.
you.
Now, Pet.ph would like to know more about the time when you got rejected or when you experienced rejections.
Oh.
And could you tell us how you overcome those?
Oh, marami akong rejections before in the
Rejections.
beginning. Like, we would audition and I would never get casted because although I was only 13, 14 years old, I was very tall. I was already 5'7". I'm now 5'8". At that time, yung mga leading men, sina John Prats, of my age. Kasi sina John Prats at that time, they were what, 17, 16. And hindi ako makast kasi I was very tall. So, and yung itsura ko, since I'm half British, so itsura ko, hindi ako mukhang 13 or 14. I looked like a woman already. Or parang 19, ganyan yung itsura ko. So, I was too young to be casted na love interest ng mas matatanda. But I didn't look young. And I was too tall to be casted as the love interest of, say, John Prats, Carlo Aquino. So, nandun talaga ako sa awkward stage. It took me a long time before I could get casted for the role of the love interest of John Lloyd.
That was kay tagal kang hinintay, right?
Yes. And so, accidental pa yun kasi hindi ako dapat yun. So, I was doing ako yung sister, I was playing the role of the sister of Rica Paralejo. So, supposedly, para lang kaming mga subplot lang. And then, love triangle talaga was Rica Paralejo, si Dimples Romana, and si John Lloyd Cruz. And then, Dimples, who was my friend, got pregnant. And so, they had to cast another one. So, I had to re-audition for the second book. May book 2 kasi yun. But, when I re-auditioned, pinakat nila yung buhok ko, tapos binihisan nila ako na parang pang-lawyer, na parang dalaga. And then I remember, nilalagyan pa nila ako ng, alam mo yun, ng padding sa braso. Mukha akong kasi at that time, hindi pa mukhang woman yung katawan ko. And I had to look like a woman na talagang mukhang, alam mo yun, parang talagang head turner. So, I had to re-audition. Buti na lang nga, meron akong background sa beauty contests kasi doon ako na-discover. So, I knew how to walk already like a woman. So I got the role. So, yeah, that's when it all started.
Aside from rejections, like, can you talk about your moments of weakness?
Yeah, I almost quit twice. The first one was before I did One More Chance. At that time, parang, I was a teenager. When I did One More Chance, I was only 19 years old. So, mga 18 ako. Lahat ng negativity was getting to me already. And especially when I was younger, I was really introvert. Like, you could ask my friends, like, they would ask me to go out, like, sina Ann, yan, sina Angelica. I would never go. Like, for example, si Sam. Sam is a good friend of mine before, kasi matagal kaming neighbors. Sam would give me a BlackBerry just so I could be part of the BBM group sa do you remember
BlackBerry
that?
Messenger.
BlackBerry Messenger. Sa ASAP, kasi lahat sila part of the BlackBerry Messenger. But then, I wouldn't accept the phone. Kasi ayokong ginaganong responsibility. I was really, like, whenever they would see me, of course, we're all friends. But hindi na, like, I would go to dinners, ganyan. But ayoko maging part ng chat group or like, very evasive when it comes to that. Because I had my high school friends na parang, I wanted to make sure that, hindi lalaki yung ulo ko or parang to me at that time, baka masyado pa akong emo. Parang iniisip ko lang na parang this will not last, you have to keep your feet on the ground. Eto fleeting to lahat. Before I could finally be able to accept na this is actually my life and these people are real. And this is a real business. It took a bit of, I think, maturing before I could embrace that. But at first, may ganun meron. Parang medyo evasive ako. Nisip ko, parang, nagandito lang yung line natin kasi baka hindi rin to magtatagal. May ano ako may takot ako when people leave me. Ang tawag sa na, what's the word?
Abandonment
issues. Kasi I never met my dad. So, pag ganun, meron akong parang, yes, let's draw the line here. Ayoko ma-abandon by these people. So anyways, ganun initially. So, when I was 18, so the negativity was getting to me already that I wanted to stop. I even asked my mom, Ma, kasi breadwinner ako, Ma, okay lang ba kung titigil na ako? And my mom immediately said na, o kung hindi ka masaya, syempre naman, okay lang, nakapagpatayo na tayo ng bahay, ganyan-ganyan. So, until, sabi ko, last ko na. And actually, gusto ko mag-apply ng immigrant's visa noon sa Canada. Tumitingin-tingin na kami. Kasi gusto ko magbagong buhay. Ewan ko ba, masyadong emo ako noon time na yun. Anyways, so until dumating one more chance, ako last ko na to, mag-iipon na lang ako last na. And then it totally changed my mind about this business. So parang, yun yung parang milestone ko sa professional life ko and also milestone ko emotionally, was able to, bridge that gap from being evasive and being able to embrace that this is my life and this is my dream. You know what? Parang kahit i-reject ka ng maraming tao, you can lose friends, but that's okay. That's part of it. That's part of life. And then the second one, I wanted to quit because I remember I was doing the love affair with Richard Gomez and Miss Don Zulueta. Before I did the movie, parang it's as if, parang, medyo ako na. Ngayon, pag looking back, inisip ko, sobrang ungrateful ko noon. I had everything. Like, I had a good career, okay na may relationship ko. But, andun ka sa parang crossroads, you feel like you're just floating. Parang, dyan ka lang, I didn't feel inspired, Parang wala lang. Parang kahit magunaw yung mundo bukas, wala naman ikaw purpose. That's what I felt. Wala ang purpose sa mundo. Parang, what are you doing with your life? And so, parang working with these two amazing actors, Richard Gomez and Miss Don Zulueta, made me realize that, I'm very lucky to have this job. And like, I could see them kahit mall shows lang na paulit-ulit ko namang ginagawa. At malamang, mas matagal na nilang ginagawa, but they're so excited to do it. Parang nahiya ako sa sarili ko na, ito yung mga totoong, na parang nagkaroon ako ng renewed appreciation in what I do and how I see my fans. And yun pala yung purpose ko. Parang, as cliche as it may sound, that I really can inspire people and I can use my platform to be able to touch lives.
It was at that point you realized na parang you have a platform talaga.
Yes. Doon ko na-realize. And even so, more so nitong pandemic. When I started doing outreach programs and nagkaroon, because of social media, of course, maraming pros and cons on social media. But I have to say, major pro is that I was able to really connect with my fans and what their needs are and how I can help them and how can they help me touch other people's lives and how we can extend help to those who are in need. So, nangyari yan with I Am Hope during 2020. And so, until now, we still do that. We would help ECPAT. Ito yung foundation na tumutulong sa mga bata na biktima ng rape and child pornography. So, with my platform, we can raise awareness kung ano yung nangyayari sa mundo.
And with your platform, you're also able to give advice and all that. So, and you're an entrepreneur yourself. As you, Bea Alonzo, what kind of advice would you give budding entrepreneurs
Or startups.
or
Ah,
startups?
just know the business. I mean, research, of course, and know your market also, and make sure that you're doing this because you love to do this. I mean, just like in any other job, I think passion should come first, and money will just flow eventually. You really have to love what you do, and also yun siguro, to be able to save, talagang never live beyond your means. I can see kids now like spending the money
Flex
that they don't
culture.
have. Seryoso, di ba? And talagang pagsisisihan mo na parang we never, I guess yung batch namin never really did that. Mas savvy kami when it comes to, or maybe because, kasi I think we're like older than, millennials kami kasi I was born 87. But kami yung parang mga older than, yung parang kami yung older millennials. And parang nakikita namin yung boomers na nagsasabi na parang, oh, this is what we did, ito yung mga wrong things that we did, blah, blah, so you have to save. So, dahil paulit-ulit sinasabi sa amin yun, so we know how to manage my money. At hindi ko yung nilalahat There are Gen Zs and younger millennials I'm sure that are very savvy and they know how to spend their money. But siguro advice to those who are, struggling, to never live beyond your means. I mean, luxury will always be there, but you have to spend on the basics first, like basic necessities, like for example, house or car if you need one, or insurance, everything.
May I know what for you was your best investment?
Siguro yung farm. Because it really, mas personal level naman siya. It really made my mom happy. Kasi siya kasi yun siya lahat yung nag-asikaso. So sabi niya, I remember this very well, sabi niya, thank you naka, kasi ito na yung magiging legacy ko. So, kasi she's a PWD, so she cannot walk. So every time she's at the farm, she would wake up early in the morning before every time nandun din ako, we would have coffee before sunrise. And she would do a lot of things and she feels needed. Unlike when she's here in Manila, parang wala, gising lang siya, tapos breakfast siya, tapos, parang iba yung life talaga sa probinsya. So I guess, on a personal level, that's like my best investment.
I'm representing Yummy PH in this interview. So, well, I watched your cooking vlogs. We even featured we tried doing your spaghetti.
Ah, talaga?
Yes, we have that
My stepdad's
on our
spaghetti.
YouTube. I want to know, what are your best, or name 3 dishes that you think you cook best?
Ossobuco caldereta, Hainanese chicken rice.
Wow.
Favorite yun ng mga tao. What else? The pink pasta.
Pink.
Oh, ibig sabihin tomato and cream based.
Oh, okay. So the follow-up question is, would you be willing to do a cooking video with Yummy in the future?
Oh,
Of course,
definitely.
we know
Why
you're
not?
busy right now.
No, but definitely.
doing
Why
startups.
not?
Yay!
Tinitingnan ko rin yung mga recipes na minsan.
Yes. We would love to have you.
Oh,
sa
I would
Yummy
be
PH.
honored. Definitely.
Let's put that on record.
Game. Anything basta pagkain.
From top year naman, si Dominic, of course, races. He actually caught the racing bug nung Vios Cup.
Yes,
He
yes.
caught it, and
And he's really good at it.
actually, when we were watching from the grandstands, I was like, bakit ahead siya sa promotional class? Nandun yung mga celebrity races, nandito si Dominic.
Nakaka-proud.
So,
Char.
okay, so this guy's beyond celebrity class. This guy's
Yes.
fast.
He's really good.
He's really good, and he's gone up several
Yes,
levels.
yes.
At you can see you're really proud. Of course. Is there a part of you that does feel nervous when he goes out to the races?
He hasn't gone actually ever since we started dating. But I would tell him, kasi nakikita ko yung mga awards niya sa bahay niya,
Yeah.
diba? And his family is of course very proud of him. But every time I would hear stories about him almost dying. Like there was a time daw kasi umikot yung kotse niya. Tapos akala nila patay na. Yung ganun yung ganun level. Sabi ko, wag ka na. But I think he's racing again. There's one next year, early next year.
Yes.
He's going to race again. So, of course, it's something that he loves to do, and I can't stop him from doing it. But, yeah, right now, he's also into motorbikes.
Motorbikes, yes.
Yeah, and he's also very good at racing. So, mas nakakatakot. So, let's stick to the car racing. But he's very passionate about, about motorbikes and cars, racing.
And there's a saying that goes kasi, never drive faster than your guardian angel.
Oh,
There's a saying.
that's nice.
Yes.
That's nice. So I'll pray to his guardian angel not to leave him to go faster.
Never drive faster than your guardian angel. But
Thank you.
have you been to the races with him?
No, not yet. As I said nga kasi, kami, pandemic couple kami. So hindi nagkaroon ng race ever since we started dating. But in the future, I think there will be one. In the near future. He was telling me about it just the other day. Na there will be another one daw. Early next year ba? Or end of this year?
End of this year probably, or early next year. And,
Yeah, something like
if
that.
we're gonna cover that, we might see you there.
Yes, but definitely, of course, if he's racing, I will be there. Shucks, kinakabahan ako. Ngayon pa lang kinakabahan ako.
That's
Wag
gonna
naman.
Kasi another videos ka?
be. The final
different one?
round is in a few months.
Okay.
Final round of VS.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Baka he will be there. I don't know.
And she's gonna overtake everyone on the final. But you, like, have you ever wanted to at least try on a simulator?
Alam mo, nakakatawa kasi I have a story. Nung nagde-date pa lang kami, sweet pa lang, ganyan. And 2020, sabi niya, so, dinala niya yung motorbike ko sa bahay. Tapos sabi niya, come on, let's go out, ganyan. So, sabi ko, where are you going? Sabi niya, basta, sama ka sa akin, ganyan. So, ako naman, naka-boots naka-boots pa ako, tapos naka-jeans, tapos naka-leather jacket. Feeling talaga. Sabi ko, oh my God, saan kami pupunta? Alam mo, the whole time, as in, tili ako ng tili. Tapos sabi ko, minumura ko na siya. Please, slow down. Tapos umabot, dapat dadalhin niya ako sa Tagaytay. Umabot lang kami sa SLEX. Sabi ko, uwi na tayo. So, kumain na kami ng siomay sa SLEX. Uwi na kami. Sabi ko, hindi ko kaya. As in, hindi ko kaya yung ganun kabilis. Hindi ko talaga kaya.
Let's say from a simulator naman.
Yeah, pero alam mo kung ano yung dream niya talaga? Na pumunta kami ng Europe and we would do cross-country motorbike. Kasi ginagawa niya yun with his friends, with the Euro Monkeys.
Yes.
They have a group kasi. And then once, parang yung friend niya, si Arthur, sinama si Martha King, yung wife niya, dun sa cross-country. So that's his dream. That's his fantasy to bring me there. sa Euro Monkey. So I don't know if that will ever happen. I don't know. Baka natatakot ako. Tapos nakikita ko yung mga videos, parang malapit sa cliff. So yan, sa Dolomite. So parang okay lang ako. Mahal ko po yung buhay ko.
Let's start with the car first. Sa car muna tayo before we go.
Car muna. But fun naman. That's good.
Na-excite tayo masyado sa
Sa racing.
Well, from what you featured before, you still have it? The Ford Transit?
Yes.
You still have it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You've customized that, and do you plan to add more customizations, or are you just happy with the way it is now?
Right now, I'm very happy with the way it turned out. Especially with the bathroom. Kasi now that I'm always taping, yun talaga yung number one, priority ko, to have my own bathroom. So I have my own shower. Kahit na, I only have 2 captain seats in the back. But, di ba, malaki yung Ford Transit. And
Yes.
nilagyan ko rin siya ng bubbles. Ibig sabihin, mas mataas pa siya. But, the bathroom is actually a decent size. Like, almost like yung parang first class Emirates shower. Ganun siya, oo. Hindi kasi din talaga yung priority more than anything, a bathroom. So, okay din kasi sometimes, kasi yung call time namin, most of the time, 7 in the morning, so medyo malayo. So, we would leave the house at 5:30 or 6 kasi traffic na yun ang time na yun. So, I can get extra hour of sleep because I usually shower when I get to the set. So, because I don't like being late.
Mm-hmm.
So, yun yung parang nagkakaroon ako ng more time to sleep and more time to actually relax. And since it has captain seats, mas para siyang yeah. But next time siguro, if magpapa-customize ako, kasi right now, pinili ko yung captain seats na, yung, maganda siya masyadong like, mukha siyang, like, pag pinicturean mo, it looks like an executive class, seat. But next time siguro, mas pipiliin ko yung soft leather. Kasi ayoko yung parang matigas dito. So what I do, nilalagyan ko siya ng comforter para hindi masakit yung dito ko pag matagal. Kasi minsan matigas siya because ang dami niyang buttons. So next time I know na mas gugustuhin ko yung soft leather. Although kasi mas bulky, but I'm sure mas magiging comfortable ako.
In transit.
Yeah, but I have jump seats also. Like if ever I want to like seat 4 people inside.
Syempre, comfort's gonna be your priority.
Definitely.
You come from a taping the night before, you're
right. And they were also, sa primera klase ko yan, pina-custom. They were asking me if I wanted to have like the lazy boy nga with soft leather. I was thinking, parang mas maganda yung isa. So, mas prioritize yung looks more than comfort, which is very wrong. Pero cool kasi yung captain seat ko, meron siyang charging area.
Very important.
Yeah, and yung parang smart charger, yung lalagay mo lang yung phone mo and it will
wireless
automatically.
charging?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lalagay mo lang siya. And then of course, meron siyang leg rest and then may jump seat in front, so like talagang full siya.
So you're gonna stick with that kind of van, or eventually you'd like something a bit smaller?
Oh,
Like as a
definitely
personal-
that kind of van. When I'm taping, definitely.
But let's say when you're just go out on a day trip or...
Oh, no, I'm using a Suburban now for city driving.
May captain seats din yun.
Yes, mas
Yes.
mahilig talaga ako sa malalaking cars.
Yeah.
Although, I also have a sedan, but I rarely use it, a Mercedes-Benz. Pero mas talagang Suburban yung kadalasan kong ginagamit.
It's all about comfort for Miss
Yes.
Bea Alonzo.
But
Yes, I
out
love
of
it.
curiosity, what was your first car?
My first car was a van. A Hyundai,
Was it a Starex?
Ano yun?
Starex?
Starex. Oo, a Starex. And then while I had the Starex, I also had the Fortuner. Yun yung matagal ko rin kotse yung Fortuner. Nagkadalawang Starex, nakadalawang Ganun ako. Like, for example, I have my Suburban now. I'm ordering another one kasi kailangan na niyang palitan. But still, the Suburban. Medyo loyal ako kapag, again, pagdating sa kotse, hindi ako masyadong mahilig sa kotse, but kailangan talaga comfort.
You are making the right choices. Those cars are bulletproof.
Yeah,
Figuratively, they are bulletproof.
right. And there's this one yung Land Cruiser that I want, pero sobrang hirap kuhanin. The new Land Cruiser.
Alden mentioned that actually.
Yeah,
so
we're
getting
ordering
one
kami
from
ng
Dubai.
nanay ko. Sobrang hirap. He has one now.
He ended up getting one from Dubai.
Yeah. Si Alden mahilig sa kotse yan.
Super.
Earlier, we kind of touched base on 1521, right? So, and you can't really talk so much about it
Yeah.
yet. So, are there any upcoming projects that you could share with us?
Yes, I just recently mentioned that I will be doing 4 projects with Eric Mati. I'm also doing one with Star Cinema that's going to be with John Lloyd, a movie. And another one with Viva. And of course, another soap with GMA. So it's going to be a very busy 2023.
If you guys want to see Bea's videos with other Summit Media brands, be sure to check out the links in the description box below.
And before we wrap things up, Miss Bea, we already mentioned and you already shared to us your upcoming ganap. So, to our audiences, any final messages?
Well, thank you so much for having me. That was really fun. Thank you so much, Summit, for having me today. And I would like to invite all of you to watch Startup.PH gabi-gabi po sa GMA Telebabad at 8:50 p.m. Kasama ko dyan si Alden Richards, Jerry Gonzalez, Gina Alahar, Yasmin Ferdit, marami pang iba. So be sure to watch out for it every night.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Miss
you.
Bea.
Thank you so much.